Well, welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Lee. Today I want to talk about, are you engaged? You're saying, what do you mean engaged, Lee? Well, the thing I'm asking is, are you engaged with life? Because there is a difference between those people who are aged and those people who are mature. And it's pretty simple. The aged withdraw from life, while the mature remain fully engaged in the never-ending and ever-expanding expression that is life. So being aged doesn't mean you're old. It simply means you've withdrawn from life. Being mature means, hey, what? It's going to always be changing. It's going to always be in a state of flux, and you're engaged with it. You're flexible. You're going to move with it. And that's really something to be very aware of, because a lot of people say, well, Reverend Lee, you're old. I said, no, I'm not. I'm mature. I've got wisdom of experience with me, and I'm fully engaged in all that life has, and I'm about expansion. I'm not about contraction. What I'm seeing in the world, though, is more and more and more people withdrawing from life, from expansion, from growth. And it comes from fear. It comes from fear. Fear stops us from expanding. Fear stops us. Aged people focus on fear. And aged people, you can see the fear in their face. They're not engaged. There's no life. There's no juice. I remember walking in to the retirement community that my dad was a part of. Very few people there had any juice in them. For a while, my dad and his three buddies, they had juice, and they were the life of the senior center. But then all of that energy around them came in, and they stopped being engaged with life. And then one by one, they died in very short time span with each other. I'm at a point in my life where I'm watching a lot of people that I know leave the planet. And yet, I know that those that have left were ready. I'm not. I don't know if you are or not, but the question I ask is, are you fully coming into life, or are you withdrawing from it? That's a deep question that only you can answer. Are you engaged in the process of expansion? Are you engaged in the process of being unattached? Are you engaged in the excitement of creativity? I don't know. You have to answer that question. So I see you guys out there, McBride, Rodney, Collections, Maggie, Jeannie, Zoe, Carol. I know there's a bunch more out there. You can check in. I'd love to know who you are. This way we can talk. You see, I want this to be a conversation that you and I have, where we explore ideas together, where we mature together and stay fully engaged with all that life is and has to offer. And here's the key thing. It's got more to offer than you've ever dreamt about. You couldn't begin to believe and understand how much is coming to you and through you. It's there. Are you open? Are you open? A lot of people, I hear this yesterday, I heard a bunch of this, of the people fear here in North Texas. I'm scared to let my kids go to this mall. I'm scared to let my kids do this. What causes people to be depressed? Basically, you become depressed when you're no longer engaged. When you no longer feel there's hope, when you no longer feel there's something to expand into. This is the worst form of isolation, to withdraw from life, because you came here for life. You came to experience. You came to express. You came to explore. You came to go beyond the boundaries. That's why I love life so much. There are no boundaries except the ones we create with our own mind. I'm very excited. Tonight I'm teaching a class, starting to teach a class on the mastery of the self, based on the book by Don Miguel Ruiz, The Mastery of the Self. If you're interested, you can join me for this class. It's 6 weeks. Starts tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. If you'd like to sign up, you can go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Go to the calendar. You'll find the class there, The Mastery of Self. Sign up, take a class with me and with other like-minded individuals. You'll love it. You get to explore. You get to connect. Classes for me are the single one way that I stay moving forward, because when I teach, I have to grow. And every time I teach a class, it's not the same, because I've grown. And when I've grown, the class takes on a different meaning, because I'm giving it a different perspective. But isn't that the same with life? You know, my wife and I, we've been married over 50 years. I want you to know that we've had more than, she says 4 or 5, I think 8 or 9 different relationships in that time period. Because we're not aged. We're mature. We're fully engaged in an ever-expanding and changing relationship that is for a greater and greater and greater expression of life. That's why you want to be in relationship, to express greater life. If you're not expressing greater life, why are you in a relationship? You got to answer that question, because if you're not in a relationship that's expanding, I'm going to tell you this, you're probably bored. I bore easy. I like change. Well, I don't like it all the time, but I do embrace it. I do accept it, and I do understand it. So I've given you a lot to think about today. The question I ask is, how engaged are you with your life? Or have you just withdrawn and you're allowing life to happen around you? And the more you don't like it, the more numb you become. The more numb you become, the more withdrawal you become. The more withdrawal you become, the more numb you become. Reach out. Grab a new idea. Grab a new quality that you want to express and experience, and start the journey of expansion. Be mature. Be alive. Love your life. Make it a great one. Until tomorrow, aloha.